I'm a visual effects artist by trade, and I went to film school and was always really interested in how film was made on a technical level. So the area that I really focus in is called compositing. Many people know what Photoshop is, where you're actually editing an image. Well, compositing is editing film images, so you can sort of think of it as frame by frame, or going very deep into the frame and thinking about how things stack up. So if you have a foreground, if you have a background, different elements that are in a shot, the art of compositing in visual effects is basically, editing the images, the moving images, isolating images, and doing different things to the image, but over time. Mocha is the software that I've helped develop, which is it uses something called planar tracking. Motion tracking is just a real foundation in visual effects. It's used in almost every kind of visual effect or color correction or isolating the image. The most common example is simply tracking a cell phone and putting new content into a phone. What Mocha does is it excels. It can track things that other softwares can't track. It can track things like skin or things that go out of focus. And so that's kind of why the Academy acknowledged it, because it's been used on so many productions over the last 10 years. It used to be that it was only very big budget, action and superhero fantasy kind of films that use visual effects. And then the other side would be in commercials, which is always like the highest per minute, footage. Obviously commercials would always push the envelope for visual effects. But these days, and I would say this is kind of really in the last 5 years, that almost every film that you see has visual effects in it, and just at a level that the ordinary viewer would just not even think about. My real interest is, and the people that I work with, we developed the software. A lot of it is to create invisible effects. And it's not about the big explosions. It's about the ability to allow someone to age an actor, or to allow someone to fix bad footage. The visual effects artists, their goal is to make it seamless. And so there's a lot of heroic work, but kind of silent work, modest work, in the sense that the goal of the visual effects artist ultimately is to drive the story and create experiences that the audience can get sucked into the frame and not be, hey, wait a minute, is that a visual effect or is that not a visual effect?
Hi, I'm Mary Poplin from Imagineer Systems, and today we're going to be showing you how to do the Headless Horseman.
It's definitely a very competitive business, especially for a company like Imagineer Systems that I work with. We're a very small company with about 20 employees, and our competition is, the Adobes and the Autodesks of the world, large corporations that are also building similar tools. Our software is pretty ubiquitous. We have a license deal with Adobe, so every version of Adobe After Effects has a light version of Mocha included. So this is great because we see our software being used by all levels, whether it's professionals, but certainly students, in really across the board. As a small software development company, we're not in business to police people. I mean, we're in business to create really cool tools that are used for artistic purposes. Unfortunately, there's a side of this business that we see professionals using our software that have not paid for it. You have to pay for the tool. You don't steal hammers, you buy hammers. So if we're creating tools, especially if there are professionals that are using our tools for their own career, then it's a huge issue for us. We have to participate in the compliance efforts because our customers are our partners who pay for our tools, and we have to respect them and show that, hey, there's a reason that we're working together and that you're paying for our tools. So we actually have to spend some time to go after the people who are using cracked software. I do understand that if there's a student or if there's someone who is working on an independent production that is not, it's not a professional production, that they want to use the same kind of tools that Hollywood uses. So I do understand, but I mean, we create educational discounts and we have temporary licenses that people can use to test and things like that. There is definitely a balance because you obviously want more people to use your software, but you just don't want them to share it online and be promoting piracy.